Ew, you already did this. Why are you doing a fragrance rotation again on Amber? Oh, Amber smells the same. Everybody likes to be safe and generic and smell alike. That's what you guys sound like to me, and I don't care. You did see the previous video of me doing Amber last week in my fragrance rotation. I'm gonna do it again this week. Why? Because I found a couple more fragrances in my collection that just smells like Amber. Or maybe it's not Amber, maybe it just smells like it, and I need to figure out if it's Amber or not. And that's why I want to include it in my fragrance rotation so I can find out. Anyways, with that being said, what's going on my frag heads and said heads? The champ is here, and I'm about to tell you what's fragging. So as you already know, we're doing a weekly rotation here, what I'm gonna wear this week, and I picked 3 fragrances. These 3 fragrances necessarily may not have Amber in it, but it smells like Amber, or vice versa. Wait, what did I just say? Anyways, they may smell like Amber, but it doesn't have Amber in it, or vice versa, where it has Amber in it and doesn't smell like Amber. Either way it goes, I need to figure out for myself, and you already know what I do here. I give you a presentation. I tell you what the notes are that are in the fragrances. I tell you what it smells like to me. Longevity, projection, occasions. You already know the drill. So while we still playing, let's get right into the video. So I'm going to start with a fragrance where I honestly don't know if this has Amber in it, but it smells like Amber. And there's so many fragrances that smell the same DNA. And that's going to be no other than Ralph Lauren's Red Rush. You know, one thing I like about this bottle, like you guys can't see it, but you can actually see through it. Like you guys can't right now, but I can. So the notes that are in this fragrance, the top notes are going to be pineapple, mandarin orange, lemon, and grapefruit. Middle notes is going to be mint, red apple, orange blossom, saffron, and lavender. And the base notes are going to be musk, coffee, and cedar. So I tell you straight up off the bat, you get the mandarin orange. I would say you get some of that lavender, and then of course the musk and coffee. A lot of people, I used to say this is like eating an apple and then drinking coffee. Kind of like if you have that taste in your mouth, that's the scent you're going to get in your nose. But it's not that anymore. To me, it literally smells like an Amber bomb. I really don't get much of the coffee in here. I don't get the pineapple. Like I said, I get the mandarin orange. I get the lavender. But that's really about it. I mean, not even really the musk. You do get the woods. But to me, it's just a big time Amber bomb. And I don't know why I smell that Amber. Now, maybe because a lot of my Amber fragrances do have the mandarin orange in there, and maybe some of those florals in the woods. But that's the thing, y'all. If that's the case, that's the reason why a lot of these fragrances smell alike, in my opinion. To you guys, they may smell totally different, but to me, a lot of these scent DNAs, they are the same scent DNAs. But for some odd reason, this is just a Amber bomb, but there's no Amber in it. However, I do believe the mixture of the lavender, the coffee, and the mandarin orange kind of gives it that resinous, spicy type floral feel, in my opinion. But I've only worn this maybe 3 or 4 times. To me, you do get vibes of like Paco Rabanne 1 million. A lot of you hate that, but it's like in that family, right? The Paco Rabanne 1 million, or the Armani Code line, you know, the Profumos and the Absolute Gold. Like it just fits within that family. And do I like it? Yeah, but for the price I paid for it, and from the memories I had of smelling it the first time, I probably wouldn't buy it a second time. So I do need to give this another wearing to see how I like it. When it came to projection, I did smell it off me. Like I was walking out of Best Buy and I could smell myself, and I only did about 4 or 5 sprays, and I was like, oh, okay. But then at the same time, it's a light fragrance. Now maybe because, like I said, I get the familiarity. Maybe I get that with the Paco Rabanne, and since Paco Rabanne is straight up in your face and all over the place, you don't get that with this. So when I smelt it, it was like, oh, okay, I can still pick it up because I actually like the scent and I enjoy the scent. So, yeah, when it comes to the projection, like I said, I can smell it off myself. Like it was banging pretty good. When it comes to the longevity, I would give it about average longevity, 4 to 6 hours from what I remember. But we're going to go ahead and wear this again to see it. I would definitely wear this to work because I don't think it's offensive to anybody. I think everybody's going to like it, even yourself, of course. But yeah, I would probably wear something like this to work or even just a throwaway. But the first time I smelled this, I smelled something different. It wasn't what I smell now. So that's why you always want to test on skin and not on paper, first and foremost. Next, we're going to go with a cheaper end fragrance here. I don't see a lot of people have this in their collection, but of course I do. And that's why I'm showing you guys. Now, to me, it is it's just an amber bomb, in my opinion. And they listed a lot of notes in this thing. But to me, I'll go ahead and get what it smells like to me. But let's get into the notes, right? So what they have here for Michael Jordan Legend is coffee, amber, anise, lavender, leather, patchouli, musk, Virginia cedar, bergamot, tea, and oak moss. So you know what? I think that's the theme here, y'all. Like when I smell amber, so you remember with Red Rush, how I said it has like that coffee and musk in it with that wood. It's the same thing here. Same thing. You have coffee. Instead, you have amber actually listed in there. You have lavender, you have leather, and you have the musk, and you have the Virginia cedar. The tea, no. I don't care what these people say. It does not smell like tea. A lot of people will say this is a clone of, I believe it's a fragrance mustache. I can't remember right now. But why buy that when you can buy this, of course? Now, to me, what I really, really love about this fragrance is that it is a dumb reach and you're going to get compliments and you can wear it all season long depending on the sprays. And no one's going to believe that it's a celebrity fragrance. Not a soul is going to believe this is a celebrity fragrance. I mean, it is cheaply done, as you can see the bottle here. However, I just love it. And what I like about this bottle is that if you're fans of any NBA game back in the day growing up, you knew Michael Jordan wasn't in the game. They would show this of Michael Jordan. And that's how you know it was Michael Jordan. You're like, oh, okay, which I need to look up now. Like, I honestly don't know why he wasn't in the games when he was making a lot of money and clearly the best player on the planet at that time anyways. But yeah, to me, it is just an amber bomb, y'all. It almost smells like syrup in a way. And like I said, it's paired with a wood and a spice. You have I believe the anise, plays as a spice too. The coffee maybe, the bergamot maybe, because to me it comes off like that. The oak moss makes everything sparkly. This doesn't really sparkle, but it does have like a citrusy vibe to it, but it doesn't sparkle, if that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, I want to throw this in my fragrance rotation because I haven't worn it in forever. It is one of like the first reviews I've done, one of the first fragrances I've bought, and I've only put that much of a dent in there. So I got to go ahead and get this on my skin to test it again to see if it's worth keeping. I've been giving away a lot of my celebrity fragrances as of late to like the young boys at work, things. But yeah, when it comes to longevity, it's on your skin all day. When it comes to projection, it projects just a little too much. It's going to burn your nose hair. You're going to get a headache. I don't know if it's because of that syrupy feel, like I said, but it's like a sticky syrup amber bomb, y'all. It's going to get to your nose. But if you don't have this in your collection, I would get it as a cheapie, as a throwaway, especially in times like this where it's kind of cool outside and, you want that coffee vibe. To me, this is something you wear to work. Like first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, boom. It's like having your coffee, and that's what I like about this fragrance the most. But yeah, so that's going to be Michael Jordan Legend, which has the amber in it. Now, next, it's kind of obvious, right? So when I did the fragrance review last week, I didn't bust this out, and I wasn't thinking at all. I did a video as well with this fragrance included, and I couldn't remember the notes that were in it. And then I looked at the bottle and I'm like, oh, wow. Anyways, I'm getting carried away. The third fragrance we're going to wear this week is going to be Prada Amber Homme. Y'all see that? Ooh, that purple tint. So first things first, right? The note. Top note. Labdanum, leather, tonka bean, sandalwood, and patchouli. And like I was saying, the notes are on the front of the bottle. You guys really can't see, but in the other video I was doing this, and I think it's my go big or go home video, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pull this out randomly. And what are the notes again? I don't know. I could have looked it up, but then I didn't want to do a whole bunch of editing and do all that stuff on the internet and then get back on here. I ain't got time for all that. You know what? One stop shop, one take, let's get it over. Boom, it's done. But when it comes to this fragrance, man, like I said, even though it has amber listed right on the bottle here, it's called Prada Amber. It's a whole different type of amber, to where usually ambers are more resinous, spicy, kind of in your face and sweet type scent. But this one is totally different. This one is fresh, clean. Yes, it is spicy, but it's more floral in my opinion, which is crazy because there's not a whole bunch of floral notes in here besides neroli. But I think that's what my nose picks up on, is the neroli and the cardamom a lot. And that's what kind of gives it the spice. The tonka bean I really don't smell. It's not really sweet in my opinion at all. The vetiver, yes, but that's what I mean. It's more so of a outside scent, of a nature scent, of a fresh, clean scent. It's not really something I smell and I'd be like, oh, that's a lot of sweet stuff in there. They must have added X, Y, and Z on it, or I'm trying to pinpoint the amber. To me, the amber kicks in here when it comes to the dry down. It's going to become very powdery, really powdery, to the point where you're like, is it a woman's fragrance? I do think this fragrance is a unisex fragrance. And when I mean it comes down to a powdery scent like a female, and I'm not saying like you're going to smell like, I don't know, talc powder or something. I don't know. I'm just talking crazy right now, guys. Don't get me in trouble here. But it just doesn't smell like your typical run of the mill, sweet, generic, woody amber. To me, it's more so of a powdery, fresh, clean amber. Like they said, it's soapy. And of course, the soapy to me comes from the neroli in there. Of course, I'm a sucker for mandarin orange. Maybe you get a little bit of orange blossom in there too. Maybe just a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to include this in my fragrance rotation this week, just because I want to see how it compares to the other 2 fragrances I listed here, and then the other 3 that are in the video I did last week. But when it comes to longevity, to me, it lasts all. I mean, it's above average in my opinion. When it comes to projection, it's really not a projection. It's not beast mode or anything, but to me, it is a little bit spicy, and that's what's going to get to your nose. To me, it's usually like a sage or a rosemary that gets into my nostrils, and that's what I smell in here. And I don't see that listed. I see saffron, so maybe that could be it. And the geranium, maybe. But like I said, it's not your average run-of-the-mill amber scent. So I can't wait to see how this compares to everything else. Now remember, I did list these 2 fragrances. I kind of just want to go back on a little something here. The video may take forever, but oh well. When it comes to these 2 fragrances, they both have amber and coffee in it. They're similar notes. Like I was saying, no, this one actually doesn't have amber, but it has coffee in it. But like I was saying, a lot of these fragrances have the same DNA. It's just sometimes the way they're blended and what notes are included that can smell a little bit different, or where they got their ingredients from, in my opinion. No, I'm not a perfumer. No, I'm not a master at this. No, I just can't smell the fragrance and tell you everything that's in there. I can't tell you what they do to actually blend a fragrance either. But I can tell you what my nose tells me and what my soul says. And when it interacts with my brain, it just comes out of my mouth. And that's what you're getting. And that's what I kind of like about doing these fragrance rotations. I don't have to be an expert on here. It's, hey, I'm going to wear this for X and Y reasons to see how it works. But y'all know what it is, man. Just to go ahead and recap. Michael Jordan legend. Ralph Lauren Polo Red Rush, and Prada Amber Homme. With that being said, y'all already know what to do. It's YouTube, man. Let me know down in the comments what you're wearing this week or what you're wearing today. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Become Tribe. That's what attracted you here today. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads or any of the new content that's coming out. And make sure you share this video on all social media and any social media platforms, and with anyone that thinks that this video would be useful for. With that being said, man, I just want to say peace, love, and blessings.